Hello all. Before we begin the video, let's discuss CloudFoundation. CloudFoundation is the premier online training platform to help individuals and organizations gain knowledge and skills in the ever-growing cloud computing industry.
Purpose. So as I said already, this application we can integrate with Sailpoint because today we have implemented Sailpoint. So what about already 2000 users or 2000 employees are using this Active Directory application? Already 2000 user data is available in this application. Now, the moment we have to pull this 2000 application user account as well, right? The moment you are going to start to pull these 2000 user data, the process you can call it as aggregation. The existing user data you are going to pull or you are going to fetch it from the target application. Today you have implemented Sailpoint. So you have pulled all the 2000 user data, that's fine. So tomorrow, some 20 people are looking for this application, Active Directory application. Now you cannot see application, you cannot reach application team to provide the access manually because we have implemented Sailpoint. It's an automated tool, right? So we should instruct Sailpoint to create user account. It could be manually, it could be automatically, whatever it may be, the process. So we should ask Sailpoint to provide the access. So now Sailpoint will take care of that activity. Sailpoint will make sure, so all 20 people, whoever is looking for that Active Directory application access, they should get the access without any interruption. That's the high level idea of implementing, one of the idea of implementing Sailpoint. Here guys, consider we don't have any identities. These identities created manually. So you can skip this, okay? And always remember in Sailpoint, we don't create any identities manually. That's against the policy. Usually the identity will be created in the process of HR application account aggregation, HR application aggregation, okay? We are not going to create any identities manually unless if there is a specific requirement. We don't create any identities manually. Just keep in mind that. Okay, now, guys, except SP admin, we don't have any identities now. So go to application definition. Oh, already you have onboarded. Consider here we don't have any application. We are not able to delete this application directly. So better we'll go to debug page. From there we will delete. And we shouldn't do this, guys, in real-time environment. So select the object type called application, select that particular one, and delete this. And before deleting any object, for a better practice, take a backup of that object. Okay. In Sailpoint, you should follow that. Before deleting anything, take a backup. Okay. So now we are going to do application onboarding. As I said, once again, I'm telling it's a process. It's nothing fancy. Application onboarding is a fancy word. Here we are going to create the application so that we can store all the configuration data like credential information. Basically, we are going to instruct Sailpoint. So we have an application called Active Directory. How to access that application? So we should instruct Sailpoint so that Sailpoint will access the target application, whatever application it may be. Okay, so we are going to provide the credential, where to access, how to access, everything we will mention basically. So click add new application. So and always remember, whenever you are going to do any application onboarding, definitely we require a lot of data, application data, like username, credential, password, whether what type of application is this, what will be the application name, who will provide the IT support for application, whether the application require provisioning from Sailpoint or not, how frequently we are going to aggregate the user data, whether it's a critical application or not. Lot of questions will rise, correct? So better we can have a working session. We can schedule a call, we can schedule a meeting, and we can have a working session with application team to gather these information. This could be one of the way, or else if business analyst is there, then they will get these data behalf of you and they will provide it to you. So you can do this application onboarding very smoothly. So to do that, first we need to onboard the application. Second, we can. Okay, so this application name, you can, okay, let's say already imagine you had a working session, you had a meeting with the application team and you got all the required information from them. So now we are going to onboard this application. As an application onboarding team member, as a support engineer, You have to feed the data at the right place. That's it. We are not going to decide anything on our own. That's very important. So whatever data you got it from application team, you have to feed in Sailpoint. That's it. So this is HR application for full-time employee. Imagine for contractor, they may have some other application. Who will be the application owner? You have to choose the particular identity. So what is the application type? This is very important. Okay, where the data, source data has been stored, it depends on that. The application type will be decided based on the source data, where all of this data has been stored. They have stored their own data, application data, maybe in database, maybe in some directory, maybe on the cloud, wherever they have stored the data. Based on that, we have to choose this application type. So application type is nothing, it's kind of connector. And already I have explained what is connector. Connector is nothing, it's a mediator between the target application. Once again, I'm saying target application could be any application, any downstream application, any third-party application. Okay, it's a mediator. It will act as a mediator between the target application and Sailpoint so that the aggregation and provision will happen smoothly. Some connector supports only aggregation. Some connectors support aggregation and provisioning both. So make sure you have selected the right connector, and the connector will be decided based on the source data. Connector and application type both are same here. Okay. Now, can you go to LMS portal? I would like to check whether they have provided any source data or not. We are not going to onboard any connector. So the connector is a Sailpoint feature. Okay.
Application types.
Yes. Application type will be decided based on where the data has been stored. As I said, the data could be stored in the database, right? The database means for database, we have a specific connector. If the data has been stored in the directory, like Active Directory or some other application, then for that, we have a direct connector. Some application have the direct connector, like ServiceNow. Let's take an example, ServiceNow. For ServiceNow, we have a direct connector. You got it?
Okay.
For Workday, we have a direct connector. Let me show you that. See, if you want to onboard Workday application, then we have a Workday connector directly. Workday. If you want to onboard Sun1 or Sybase, Top Secret, Rackup, mainframe application, or Salesforce, yeah, we can onboard. Yammer. So we have import one configuration file, right? And we have import a lot of identity objects. And I have shown we have imported some connectors also. So by default, we have more than 70 or 60 out of the box connector. Yeah, this is their source data. Like they will feed employee data, first name, last name, manager name, full name, email, department, this department, region. So these are the field value they are going to store for all the employees. That's fine. Okay, now we are going to onboard this authoritative application. The application name could be anything. This is the source data. So how to pull the data from this application? That's what we are going to perform now. Can you go to Sailpoint? So now the data has been stored in the Excel sheet. It's a comma separated value, the extension type. So whenever if the data has been stored in the Excel sheet and the format is comma separated value, which means .csv files, then you have to choose the connector called delimiter. Okay. Can you select the application type called delimited file? Yeah. If the data has been stored in the database level, then you have to choose JDBC. If the data has been stored in the directory, it depends whether you are going to choose LDAP direct connector or you are going to choose the direct connector called Active Directory. It depends. Sailpoint will pull the data from the HR application because we are not going to create any identities manually. Okay. So the application type is delimited. The moment we have chosen the connector type or application type, the remaining tabs will open, like configuration. So inside this configuration tab, we will feed all the configuration data, application configuration data. Basically, we are going to instruct Sailpoint, try to gather this configuration data so that Sailpoint can access the target application. That's the purpose behind that. Okay. Now we will feed all remaining data, HR application name, owner, application type, description. If they provided anything, we can mention or leave it as empty. Revoker, who has access to revoke this application? If they provide the identity name, you can select this from dropdown or else leave it as empty. So proxy application and profile class, we are not using anymore. So you can skip this. If they have any proxy application and they want to mention, yeah, we can, or else skip. So this authoritative application or not, this is very important. What does that mean, authoritative application? Trusted one. So here, if you are going to enable this checkbox, which means we are going to instruct Sailpoint. This is the source data which you can rely on. It's a genuine data. So we can inform Sailpoint, basically. So case insensitive. So this application have some data. It could be case insensitive. So we are going to check this so that we can avoid the errors when it comes to provisioning. Okay. Usually we won't uncheck this. Native change reduction. It's a very important chapter. We are going to talk about this later, but have some idea. The moment you have implemented Sailpoint, now you are the authorized person to make any changes in the target application. No one should make the changes on the target application directly. So once you are an authorized person, now Sailpoint is an authorized medium. So if anyone is going to make any changes in the Active Directory application directly, it's not the right approach. So Sailpoint will detect those changes as well with the help of this NCD, native change reduction. If anyone is going to make any changes in the application directly, Sailpoint will detect, and based on the requirement, it will escalate. Maybe we can inform user manager, maybe we can remove the access immediately. It depends on the requirement, but we can do that with the help of NCD. And we'll talk about that later.
And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.